A new PlayStation Store sale is live right now. However, I would be lying to you if I told you guys that it was one of the strongest PSN sales we've seen this year. No, rather, it's one of the weaker ones. However, there still are some great deals that I definitely want to highlight, this being a flash sale. It's only running for a little bit, and it will be concluding on July 22nd, but we'll take a look at some of the best deals available as a part of that sale. First up, again, a brand new PlayStation Store flash sale is live right now, and there are some great deals available, even though off the top I did say that this is one of the weaker sales, and it goes without saying that yes, this is one of the weaker sales. However, given the fact that all of the PlayStation Store sales this year have been relatively strong, this being one of the weaker sales isn't saying a whole lot, because there are still some great deals that I want you guys to have a look at. First of all, the recently released A Plague Tale Innocence is seeing its first discount on the PlayStation Store. It is 30% off, down to $34.99. Now, this is a great game, and Asabo Studio did a tremendous job with this title. Asabo Studio was a studio that we hadn't even really known about before this game. They had worked on a couple of other titles, very low-key games, and they weren't generally known to be the studio that would put out great games, but then we got A Plague Tale Innocence, and wow, this game delivered. This is a very atmospheric game. It follows a grim tale of young Amika and her little brother Hugo in a heart-rending journey through the darkest hours of history, hunted by Inquisition soldiers and surrounded by unstoppable swarms of rats. Amika and Hugo will come to know and trust each other as they struggle to survive against overwhelming odds. They will fight to find purpose in a brutal, unforgiving world. Of course, the game is set in the 1300s. A plague is ravaging the Kingdom of France, and you've got to survive through it. It's got a great setting. The visuals are stunning. And of course, the story is where this game really shines. The gameplay isn't anything to write home about necessarily, but the story is so incredibly strong, and you do have a relatively lengthy experience in here as well. And again, this is one of those games that really does accentuate the quality over the abundance of content, but it does have a decent amount of content to it as well. $35 for it could still be seen as a little bit expensive. I do imagine that by the fall time, it might get a little bit cheaper, but if you've been eyeing this game for quite a while, $35 for it is a great buy, so definitely have a look at that. I can't recommend that game enough. Okay, also, the Batman Arkham Collection is down to $24, so that's a pretty good deal, all things considered. This, of course, includes Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight Premium Edition. $24 may be a little bit steep of a price point, given that the first two games, if you buy them separately and they are on sale, usually you can get that for what, like $7.50, $10, I forget the exact price point. So the bulk of the price is coming from the Arkham Knight Premium Edition. However, the Arkham Knight Premium Edition usually does go for a pretty penny, usually around that $15 range. And the Arkham games are, of course, tremendous. I personally thought that Arkham City was the best game in the series, followed by Arkham Asylum, and then Arkham Knight. Now, that's not me saying that Arkham Knight is a bad game. It absolutely is not. It's just that the other two games were of immense quality, and Arkham Knight did fumble here and there, but I still thought overall it was a great game, and with the Premium Edition, you're getting a sizable amount of content. Do keep in mind that downloading all of these games to your PlayStation 4 is going to take up a big amount of your hard drive space. They noted on the PlayStation Store that it's a total of 96.72 gigabytes. So yeah, have some hard drive space available on your PlayStation 4, but nonetheless, these are some great games. And essentially at $8 a piece, I would say that's a very good buy. Another collection I do want to note is the Dead Island collection. That is down to $7.49. That includes all of the Dead Island content. I know at this point, Dead Island is one of those franchises that gets memed on a little bit. I don't know if we're ever going to see the release of Dead Island 2, but nonetheless, $7.50 for all the Dead Island stuff that's out right now isn't a bad deal. It's a game that you're not going into it to experience, you know, the most technically refined experience in 2019. However, it is a fun little game to get into, especially if you do have a couple of friends to play with. Alright, moving on from that, I definitely want to give a shout to the Hotline Miami games. Hotline Miami Collection is down to $5. Hotline Miami 1 is $2.49, and Hotline Miami 2, wrong number, is $3.74. So if you've never played Hotline Miami, I would recommend you guys to get the collection. Both of those games are definitely worth playing, and if you get the collection, you save, what, $1 and change if my math is correct? They're visceral, they're gruesome, they're a little bit challenging as well, but they're a lot of fun. They've got a great visual style, and while technically speaking, they're not groundbreaking by any means, these are the kind of games that hold up over time, because they're not reliant on technicality, rather they're reliant on their overall presentation value, and with Hotline Miami, that presentation value is incredibly strong. $5 for both titles is great. If you would just like to get one game, Hotline Miami 2, wrong number, for just $3.74 is a good buy as well. Okay, next up, I definitely want to give the Shadow Warrior games a mention. Shadow Warrior 1 is $7.49, but the game that I would recommend is Shadow Warrior 2. Shadow Warrior 2 is awesome, and it's down to $9.99. Shadow Warrior 2 is a sizable improvement improvement upon the first game. It's a stunning evolution of Flying Wild Hog's offbeat first-person shooter, starring the brash warrior Lo Wang, who must again wield a devastating combination of guns, blades, magic, and wit to strike down the demonic legions overwhelming the world. The game is visceral, it's stylish, it's flashy, I can't say enough good things about it, and with Shadow Warrior 2, you do have full cooperative play support, and it is a ton of fun. And as far as the gameplay goes, you've got an expanded array of over 70 lethal blades and explosive firearms to overcome the demonic opposition, become a whirlwind of steel and blood with razor-sharp katanas, short swords, crescent blades, and hand claws, or unleash a hellish symphony of ornate firearms to decimate your enemies. Again, 4-player co-op is a big element to the game. Battle through the expansive campaign alone, which is fine if you do play it solo. However, if you do have a group of friends to play with, it's awesome to go through it with a couple of buddies, team up as a 4-player Typhoon of Destruction online in campaign co-op mode. With that, you'll be able to tackle challenging primary missions or thrilling side quests with customizable armor, items, and valuable loot from your triumphs. You've also got procedural environments in there. The breach between the human and demon realms created an interdimensional hernia, resulting in constant shifts to the world of Shadow Warrior 2. Procedurally generated landscapes and paths bring new twists and turns to once familiar terrain and routine missions. So you've got a sense of replayability in there as well. Now, if you do want to pick up both games, you can get the Shadow Warrior Collection. I believe that's $14.99, so you save $2.50. However, if you're just looking to pick up one game, just get Shadow Warrior 2. It's a great game, and it's not like there's this insane investment to the story here. You are going into Shadow Warrior 2 for the gameplay, but the gameplay is incredibly compelling, incredibly stylish, and just a lot of fun. And if you can convince a couple of other friends to pick it up, well, do that as well. Want to note a couple of other games before we sign off. Titan Souls is 75% off for $3.74. This was a game that ahead of its release, I was so excited for, because what this game was being looked at was a game like Dark Souls, but with this old school pixel graphics look, and it definitely had that to degrees. Now, the game isn't all too content plentiful, however, the content that is there is pretty good, and it is a very good action puzzler, and I have to say, I love the art style. Between our world and the world beyond lie the Titan Souls, the spiritual source, and some of all living things now scattered amongst the ruins and guarded by the idle titans charged with their care. A solitary hero armed with but a single arrow is once again assembling shards of the Titan Soul in a quest for truth and power. Of course, the game is going to feature colossal titans for you to battle, explore the ancient ruins of your forefathers, and uncover extraordinary and unique titans, each with their own savage attacks and hidden weaknesses. Find and exploit their faults to slay the beasts and consume the primeval power that lies within them. Now, the game from a gameplay standpoint is relatively simple, however, that actually adds to the game. Loose your solitary arrow at the monstrous titans and summon it back to your hand to unleash another forceful strike. Dash and run from the titans' attacks, but do not fear death, as it is both inevitable and plentiful in Titan Soul. So yes, you are gonna die a lot, and the game is quite challenging, and the game has a lot of secrets to it as well. Long forgotten titans are hidden in the shadows and prowling through the furthest corners of the land. Find them, destroy them, and take their souls for your own to discover the true extent of the power that resides here. At a full $15 at this point, I would say probably don't pick it up, but now that it's down to $3.74, this is a great buy for Titan Soul. So if you do like that old school art style, if you do like more challenging gameplay with some secrets in it as well, Titan Souls is definitely worth a buy, so give that a look. And also, Zonkey Zero Last Beginning, a pretty recent release, is 50% off for $30. This is a RPG dungeon crawler from Spike Chunsoft, and it has a very good story. So to give you guys an overview of it, God created the world in 7 days. It only took 1 day for humans to destroy the world. Life as we knew it sank to the depths of the sea until yesterday. We do not know the broken world and the reasons left behind. An earth where ruins drift about, buildings, houses, light posts, cars, traffic lights, asphalt. Modern civilization was destroyed, becoming nothing more than debris waiting in the sea. New ruins drift one after the other before the protagonist, who lives on one of those decaying islands. So you can see a lot of mystery in the game, a lot of emphasis on the story. However, it does have a decent amount of gameplay as well. This reminds me a lot of something like Danganronpa from a presentation style. However, it does have its own core gameplay mechanics as well. At a full $60 price point, I was a little bit hesitant to recommend it, but now that it's already down to $30, that is pretty great. This was a game that honestly I wasn't expecting to go on sale all too quickly, given that Spike Chunsoft's Danganronpa held up in price for quite a while, but here we have it 3 months later, and Zonkey Zero is getting pretty cheap, so that's great. If you want a Japanese RPG, a little bit more on the niche side, then Zonkey Zero will definitely be up your alley. A couple of other games I want to note really quickly. Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions Evolved is down to $4.94. That's really good. Homefront The Revolution is down to $4.99. Man, the follow-up to Homefront was not received well. But if you liked Homefront 1 and you've been just eyeing Homefront 2 for a while now, Homefront The Revolution, that is $5 for it. Maybe you should give it a look. but do not expect something that great. Dead by Daylight is down to $15, so that's not all too bad. Ruiner is down to $7.99, and I do want to give a mention to Agents of Mayhem. That is down to $4.99. That came from Volition, the same guys that brought you Saints Row. So that's going to conclude this video. Again, I wanted to give you guys a full rundown of this flash sale. Not a ton of great deals available, comparatively speaking, to some of the big sales that were running, like the Days of Play sale or whatever the case may be, but still some really good stuff. Whether it's a Plague Tale Innocence, Shadow Warrior 2, Batman Arkham Collection, there's definitely some good stuff to pick up. So that's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.